What Microsoft is saying here is we don't give the NSA unfettered access to our data wherever it resides. What it's also saying, though, is that when we own the data, when we as Microsoft have the data, it's unencrypted and we can give it to the government in that form. It's a technical point. For the past few weeks, this technical argument has raged about, does Microsoft supply the encryption keys to the NSA? Does Google provide direct access to its servers for the government? What Microsoft is saying here is we haven't given the government the encryption keys. However, we will supply all the information they request when they request it to us appropriately.
So is Microsoft saying basically what all of the other companies have said?
They're saying what all the other companies have said, but there's one key addition here. Microsoft owns Skype, and for many years, Skype was seen as the untappable technology. It promoted itself that way. Hackers loved it, journalists loved it. It was seen as kind of immune from government surveillance. When Microsoft bought the company, the most interesting part about the statement today for me was when Microsoft said, when we bought Skype and we buy technologies and we pull that data in-house, that data becomes subject to government requests for surveillance.
Okay.
And for Skype, that's especially important because the email, that's the same as Google, it's the same as Yahoo. Skype's a very different animal, and that puts Microsoft in different categories.
Now, Microsoft has asked the government for permission to release more information. I believe Google and Yahoo have done so as well. What other questions need to be answered in terms of how the relationships with these companies work with the government?
I've been asking the same question myself. It's unclear to me. They're kind of strange requests because the companies already released kind of broad ranges of numbers of the number of requests they've received from the government.
Right.
I'm not sure what else they would say if they got clearance. I mean, they're certainly not going to give the names of the people being investigated. They might give the types of the nature of the investigations, perhaps, but I'm curious to see what Microsoft would even divulge if they got clearance, or Google or any of these other companies. The thing to remember about these national security letters is some of these companies use them almost as promotion. Now that these leaks are out there, they're able to say, hey, we only granted 500 of these requests. We have hundreds of millions of users. We don't give unfettered access. So in kind of a reverse logic kind of way, the companies want to disclose a little bit more about this in an effort to say, we don't just give carte blanche access to the government. It's kind of a weird way to think about it, but my sense is that's the angle.
It is. Okay, well, we will continue to keep following the story as always.